Hello and welcome to Buckman's Model Mania. Today I'm going to be working on the Optimus Prime Stage 8. Put away most of the screws. I just saw as I started the video that I had not put away the DM screws yet. But so we've got the inner and outer ankle wheel, got a wheel gear. These smaller parts, the easiest way to tell them apart other than the looks is these two up here are metal. Here are the parts from earlier stages. Not sure when they're going to go on. I'm expecting should be soon. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing it has you do is take this metallic part here and marry it up with this part here, and it says to use the wider end when you do it. The wider end also has a spot that you can put the DM screw into. Let me go ahead and get the screw out. Just got a lot there. Observe this position. Attach connecting wider end. Note with DM screw, but don't tighten it much as it needs to be moved later. Or don't over tighten it. Don't tighten it to where it can't move. So let me go ahead and dip this in the oil here. Line these spots up, and you can see there's a very small hole in there. And I'm actually backing it out first so that it is should be relatively straight going into the hole. And it says don't over tighten, tightening it down enough to where it's going to hold but not keep it from moving at all. Still a little bit loose for my liking. It's really close. A little bit more. Okay, so just a hair more. And this is where the screw snaps. So originally, first time I let go of it, it stayed in place. It is tight. It's tight enough to where it won't go anywhere, and it's loose enough to where it can actually rotate freely. I'm wiping off the oil because the oil I don't want to have the oil interfere with the plastic and possibly melt it. That could happen. Not likely, but it could. So now you take the narrow end of the arm and have it facing this way, and it's going to go onto that post right there, which this is a plastic part, just like that. And you're going to use an OP screw. Interesting thing about the screws here is that we skipped NP to go to OP. MP and then OP. So I left a space there. I've run into this before where I didn't leave the space, and then 3 issues later I had this next screw out of order. Not too bad as long as you remember it, but it can be a little bit confusing while you're trying to find a screw that is not in the right spot. So I'm going to tighten this down to where it still is free, will move freely. Don't know if it has to move freely or not. See which fits in the notch. Oh, okay. Fasten with the open now assembly onto the small pin of wheel 8A, which 8A is this one here. I'm just looking to see. I was looking at this side. It's actually on this side. And there's a keyway there, or key there, and a keyway there, so there's only one place it can go. It obviously will not have to move. Goes on here like this, and an IP screw will hold it in place. And again, silver IP screws came with this this stage, so I'm using the silver ones. Still have some black ones from earlier. Tighten this down. I'm going to make sure it's completely snug. Now, I'm sure these are eventually going to get it locked in place. It would be kind of cool if they could move, but I don't think they're going to. So now it says to take the foot. Let me go ahead and get these parts out. I'm going to lay this down like that. And that cylinder goes up there. 3 times IP screws. And one of the screws is actually up underneath there where you can't reach it. So let me make sure I get this on here. Okay. There are 2 lugs here, 2 holes there. Get that rotated around. I was about to put it on wrong. The 2 lugs there go onto these 2 pins with the cog on the inside. Hang on. It's a little bit fiddly. Somehow that goes on there. I'm looking. Okay, popped into place, and it will actually engage or look like it's engaging the gears on there, the teeth on that gear. No, actually it doesn't. It did originally, but it was when it was not in its right spot. That gets attached by 2 IP screws. So let me go ahead and get them out. It actually says 3 IP screws, but I want to get the wheel attached first before I do the last one, because the last one could be a little bit tricky. That one's tight, or not tight, it's started. Get that one started. This is the second time that they're having us put a screw where you can't put, really shouldn't be able to put a screw. So based on what I'm looking at, this part is supposed to go up in here like that, which is fine. Let me see if I can get this to where you can actually see it. Let me get that part back out of there. Right, it's wanting to go in where it belongs, but that hole right there, that hole is where this is supposed to line up, and the screw is supposed to go on there. The only problem is this part is on here, and I've mentioned it in prior videos. That's on a ball. Actually, never mind. It's on a ball joint. It rotates enough to where I could get that in there. I was actually going to pop it off, but since I don't have to, I'm not going to. Line up the screw. Helps if you can actually get the screw to hit the hole. And it's supposed to be down like that and then back up. There we go. So that's what it's supposed to do is this is down, and then when you put this back in place, you can't see that screw. You can see the screw there. That back shroud back in place, you can no longer see it. Let me see, lay this back on its side because I still got more to put on here. I think, yeah, next page. Sitting there looking at it going, I know I looked at it, saw that this part goes on here. So on the ring, detail on the rear side, so this little detail, part of a brake caliper maybe, goes to the rear. And the curved piece with the 2 flanges on it goes on the back. It is a D-shaped pin. It can only go on one way. Same with this one, which is just a straight piece. So that's how these go on there. It says join the inner ankle wheel to the outer ankle wheel, 3 inner pins. Okay, so these 3 pins are going to line up with these 3 holes. But before I do that, that is way too loose. At least to my thinking, it's way too loose. Still a little bit loose. This is where I snap a screw. I say things like that just because usually if you're expecting it, it's not going to happen. Okay, that's better. And so the one with the flanges goes on the back. I'm going to line up the first hole, or the first pin. Once I have the second pin lined up, so the third pin automatically will line up. Push this on here. Just looking. I am thinking that these 2 pieces probably could do with a drop of glue. Just looking. It's on the bench here somewhere. I'm not seeing my pin vise with a pin. Just give me a second. I will go find it and be right back. Okay, I am back. Got this, the way I do this from Wayne. You can see I've got some glue here. And I'm just going to take my pin vise. Wayne from World Wayne, by the way. I'm going to take my pin vise with a needle in it. Put just a drop of glue down inside there. That way I don't have too much glue, it's not flowing all over the place, and push it on. That'll set up in short order and that will never come off again. Do the same thing on this side. Push this one in and it's done. So let me stand it up. Well, you see that? Pretty cool looking. And that is all for this stage. So like and subscribe, leave comments if you like. Come on over to Hobby Time Modelers and see what we're doing on YouTube, Facebook, and Discord. Links are in the description. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Have a great day today, have a great day tomorrow, and I will see you on the next video.